I'm breaking my number one rule of thrifting today. I have thrifting goals. Today we're gonna go thrifting in DC. I'm looking for paintings. I want to hang paintings on the wall. I'm looking for some mirrors. I'm looking for a lampshade, like a very specific lampshade. I'm kind of going through this like period where I want more wall art. I mean, nothing crazy, but I've kind of been experimenting a bit with this and putting some artwork in my bedroom, and it just looks a lot like nicer and cozier, and I'm enjoying my bedroom more. So now I want to go to the thrift store and try to find some paintings. But the number one rule of thrifting is to be patient and have no expectations. So a lot of times when you go to the thrift store, you just want to kind of go with the flow and you want to have a day to just relax and look around, and that's definitely not something that is going to be happening today. Okay, guys, I mentioned Washington, D.C., and I don't know if it's the same where you live, but in D.C. and in some other places around the U.S., there has been a lot of thefts of Kias, and I have a Kia. So the police department gave everybody one of these wheel locks. Anyway, so now every time I take my Kia somewhere, I have to like lock up the car so it doesn't get stolen. And you know why? Somebody put a video on YouTube how to break into a Kia and how to steal a Kia, and now everybody's stealing Kias. So I don't really like condone retail therapy. We've all got too much stuff in our homes, and we're all trying to get rid of clutter, and so definitely don't be buying more and new stuff. But I do think that thrifting is a good way to kind of get that retail therapy that you want to do out of your system. First place we're going is the Unique Thrift Store. It's in Maryland. I'm starting off our day with a ton of donations. I'll talk about that in a bit in one of my upcoming rules. But I'm making another video on Swedish death cleaning, and I've made a huge dent in my attic in decluttering. I cleared out a ton of space, so I'm donating a lot of things. So the Unique Thrift Store is a chain thrift store. It's in Maryland. They really do have some unique items because it's in the DC metro region. I do think it's a little more expensive than other thrift stores. I do like to go thrifting in upstate New York, where I'm from. I think you can find some really good things there, things that are pretty like inexpensive but very nice. I found some really nice oil paintings there. You can tell oil paintings because those are the ones where you can see and feel the brush marks. Those are the ones I love the best. A lot of what Unique had was prints. I like to look for art pieces that have a really good mat. You can see on that one I was just showing. In fact, sometimes you can buy the artwork with the mat and you can get it for pretty cheap, and then you don't have to use the actual artwork inside. You can put something else inside that you like or you have or that you're going to buy. I did find a lot of 90s style frames like these. These are the big embellished frames, which are technically not in style anymore, but I think they look cool and they'll definitely be back in style again. I really wanted to find a nightstand for my daughter's room. She had a desk in her room that we took out to make some space. She just needs a small nightstand, but I never really have any luck trying to find thrift furniture for some reason, and today was no exception. They did have some interesting items, but I'm sticking to what we need. I'm not looking for kitchen items, but I did find this really cute picture. Okay, definitely no lampshades. In fact, mostly just lamps without shades. Oh, I take that back. I did find these. Okay, so we got a few things. When you donate to the Unique Thrift Store, they do give you a 20% off coupon. And so we used that, and our grand total ended up to be $36. Now we're going to head over to Value Village. What's cool about Value Village is that it's right next door to Unique, so it was very convenient. And they had a lot of stuff going on there. They had this bazaar, which is in the middle of the store. We didn't end up going in there. I read online that it ends up being a little bit expensive in there, oddly. My daughter did find a watch that she liked, but we couldn't test it. And I do get wary of buying anything electronic at a thrift store that you can't test. I feel like a lot of thrifted electronics, like they do let you test them, but in my experience, I've often found a lot of broken ones. As always, the holiday decor at both stores did not disappoint. Wait until you see what I got. I looked at so many little Christmas houses and I wanted them all, but I just kept on reminding myself about clutter. If you're ever in need of dishes, I do think that the thrift store is a great place to get some. They always have good sets that are very affordably priced, and it's just a lot less than buying new dishes. I also found this wooden trio. It had a thermometer and a barometer. It reminded me, my grandmother had an almost identical one hanging in her living room. I actually almost bought it. I'm kind of regretting it now. I actually could have put it in my entryway. I think it would have looked cool. I love wooden artwork. I think wood adds some nice coziness and earthiness. Unfortunately, I didn't pick it up though. Anyway, I didn't find any artwork at Value Village, which is fine. You know, artwork can really be hit or miss when you're thrifting, so you just have to be patient with that one. I did find a lot of prints at Value Village and just kind of maybe some more modern pieces, but nothing that really spoke to me or that I thought would match with my home. Okay, so we just finished up at Value Village and it was pretty good. I think they had some good stuff. I didn't actually get anything there, but I wanted to talk to you about my number 2 rule in a thrift store, and that is whenever I go shopping, whenever I go thrifting, I always have to donate something. And not just like one thing, I have to donate like a bunch of bags so that I can get something. So that's my number 2 rule. I did get these at the Unique thrift store. I actually thought these were okay, so I'm going to be doing a little project in about a month or so, and I think these are going to work out, so stay tuned for that project. But I kind of thought these were cool. These were on art.com, and they're have a certificate of authenticity, so kind of exciting. I got a few other things as well, but I'm happy about those paintings. I didn't find any mirrors. I didn't find the lampshade. Definitely didn't find a nightstand. So we didn't get to that. Things that I love thrifting, baskets for sure, super useful. I also love thrifting glassware, books, holiday decor. There was a ton of holiday decor in this shop. Water bottles, I got a new one. Every time I see a good water bottle, the one I got was $1.99. Couldn't pass it up. I also like buying small dishes. Frames are always good. You know, if you find big frames and they're $8, just you could scoop it up if you have something that you want to frame. You can buy something online and put it in the frame. You don't have to necessarily go with the picture that you buy in the thrift store. I also got this really cute pitcher. I thought I could put creamer in it or gravy. It was made in Ohio. When I always look at the bottom of pottery and things before I buy it, because I don't really want to buy anything that's made in China. I want to buy something that's real and something that is unique. Okay, and that brings me to my number 3 rule is I do not buy something just because it's cheap. I've said it in a couple other videos, but everything that you bring into your home has to essentially pay rent. So even though something costs $1.99 and you think oh, it's cheap, I'll just buy it, the true cost is a lot more than $1.99. So you need to think about is it going to add clutter? Does it deserve a spot in your home? You know, you don't just want to buy things just because you're it's cheap, I'll just pick it up, whatever. Don't do that. Okay, guys, well, thank you so much for thrifting with me in DC. If you like this content, just give me a little like and a subscribe. Let me know. I can do more content like this, but always loved a good thrift store and showing you guys what I can find at the thrift store. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.